Honestly, it kinda sucks waking up on a Monday morning and not having any Lovecraft Country episodes to watch. However, there is still a lot to talk about. Now, if you followed our breakdowns on the series, then you'll know that I absolutely fell in love with it, and I was so happy to see it divert from the source material towards the end of the season, as it opens up so many possibilities. We're going to be getting into it all throughout this video, but if you're new here, welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and I just want to give a huge thank you for clicking the breakdown, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so the first question I had as a fan of the book was, is Atticus actually dead? In addition to this, I want to talk about Christina, who seemingly lost her life in the show. Now, skip ahead about 30 seconds if you don't want things from the original novel spoiled, as I know a lot of you are probably reading that right now and don't want it ruined. Are you still here? Great, well, sod those other people, yeah, don't tell them I said that though. But, in the book, it actually ends on quite a high note. Now, all of the characters survive, even Caleb, who is the basis of Christina, and the work closes out with the main group all driving off into the sunset as they go on another road trip. Now, why this happens is because Captain Lancaster is actually propped up as the big bad of the finale, and the group work with Caleb in order to kill him. However, they also double cross Caleb, strip him of his powers, and then drop him off in the middle of Indiana by himself. Now, the original work doesn't really set up the need for a sequel, but with showrunner Misha Green teasing that she has ideas of where she wants to go with it, I do think that there are a lot of possibilities. Now, personally, I think that both Atticus and Christina are dead and gone for good. When the Kumio comes out of GR, we do get flashes of their lives, and though I have seen some people say that these could tease future events, they're actually all moments from the past. Now, firstly is Atticus getting baptized, then him teaching Diana to control the Shoggoth, Christina catching Ruby, Tick handing over his letter to Hippolyta, and Ruby putting the Mark of Cain back on Letty. These were all key plot points in the finale, and with the Kumio only seeing the past and not the future, I think it rules out the possibility that either will be back. Typically, along with the past, GR would also see the future, and this is how she was able to determine Tick's fate. With the future being absent from all of her visions in the final episode, I do think that it confirms that neither he or Christina will be coming back. We also know from Tick's son George, who wrote the novel Lovecraft Country, that in this timeline the character is dead and gone. Now, you're probably wondering why I've spent so long talking about this in a predictions video, but it leads me into my main theory, which is that the show will take place in a completely different time to the first season. We know from Tick's journey to the future that there are mass riots breaking out, and that Diana is the one leading these. I believe that Season 2 will centre around Tick and Letty's son George as he tries to retrace the steps of his parents in order to write his book. This would allow for him to travel across the country to notable locations, but it could also be instrumental in why the riots break out. Now, we know from the finale that all the magical white people have been stripped of their powers and are now unable to use them. They likely just woke up and have absolutely no idea what caused this to happen or where it even came from. Thus, they can't really blame black people, and I think that it will have flown under the radar for the next 20 or 30 years with the secret remaining hidden. I actually think that George's journey will unearth what happened to his father, and in doing so he too will uncover what happened to strip white people of their abilities. Upon publishing the book, this could be brought to light, and then it will cause a lot of racial tensions as the whites will be angered that they had their powers stripped. This would cause things to explode and lead to the riots that Tick came across. Now, this is actually teased by Diana in the show when we catch her reading Lovecraft Country just before the Shoggoth attack. She reads out loud that they would have to spill the blood of a warlock in order to upset the hierarchy, and this is of course why she kills Christina in the finale. In addition to this, we also know that Diana is part of the riots and that she likely has her Shoggoth with her. I actually think that the ending teases her upcoming character arc, and whilst it initially seems as a triumphant moment with her killing Christina, the subtext is a lot darker for me. Diana has gone through a lot in the season, as not only did she lose her arm to the warlocks, she also lost her father. There's no doubt going to be a lot of anger there, and due to the power she now possesses in both her arm and Shoggoth's sidekick, I really think that she's going to be the one leading the charge for her people. I think there's a lot of possibilities there, and Diana might even become an anti-hero that George has to wrestle with. I think it would be great if they set up a sort of Malcolm X motif in Diana and had George becoming the Martin Luther King of the show, as it would be a good way to portray both sides of the civil rights movement. Now, I could just be reading into that, but watching the Shoggoth howl at the moon is both terrifying and yet somehow triumphant at the same time. You really get the feeling that Diana, who represents the new generation, is not going to take things lying down. Instead, I think that she will not let the white people in the show get away with how they've treated their people and will fight back. Though this could lead to her being a villain perhaps, I actually have a theory that we sort of already know who the big bad is going to be, and that is Caleb Braithwaite. Now, if you're a fan of the book like me, then when we were first introduced to Christina, you were probably questioning why one of the main characters in the work had just been gender swapped. I quickly brushed this to the side when I realised that they were using Christina to explore gender roles and white feminism, but something was just gnawing away at me, and by the end I was a bit disappointed we didn't get Caleb pop up in any shape or form. Now, I would absolutely love it if the villain of the second season was Caleb and we discovered that he was a relative of the Braithwaites who, through George, learned that they were the reason for his family's downfall. Season 1 was very much about white privilege at points, and the second season could deal with a character who believes that he should have an upper hand in life, but that this has been stripped away because of equality. In the last couple of years, we've seen that there's been a massive amount of people that have acted like they're losing out because other races and genders are getting more rights, and I think that the show could explore how some people react negatively to others gaining equality. Now, if you're enjoying the video, then I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to the channel, as it massively helps us out. We're trying to hit the 400,000 mark by the end of the year, and it would mean the world to me if you did that, so thank you if you do. Anyway, on top of all this, we could also explore the multiverse through Hippolyta, and it is possible that she could travel to either our world or the book universe in which all the characters are still alive. I also think that it would be amazing if the Tick from the past showed up at one point in season 2 and Diana gave him the book. Alternatively, the character could have been lying to Montrose, and though he said he was only there for a couple of seconds, he actually could have been there for a while. He did go into the portal and come out much later, so he may have spent a lot more time on the other side than he said that he did. Tick of course knew how things were going to play out, and he did his sacrifice willingly, so there is reason there why he might have covered certain things up. And lastly is GR, who I really hope pops up again. We did learn from the shaman that she would need to take the lives of 100 men in order to lift the curse, and that upon doing so she would become something different. I actually count Tick as the 100th man, and thus there is a lot they can do with her character from now on. Misha Green did state that if there was a second season, that it would explore Asian Americans, and I think through GR and most likely her children that they have an opportunity to do this. Whatever happens, I really hope that we get a second season, and a third one for that matter, as the show was so good and there's so many other historical things that they can touch upon. Lovecraft Country is very relevant today, and I'd love to see them do more with the characters and also this universe. Now obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts and theories, so make sure you comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, then definitely check out our breakdown of the final episode, which is going to be linked at the end. We go over the entire entry and break down all the things you missed, so it's definitely worth checking out if you want to know more. Don't forget, we're also giving away 3 copies of the Marvel Phase 1 box set, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below. The winner is going to be chosen at random on the 30th of October, so make sure you get involved. If you want to support the channel and get to see content like this early, then please consider clicking the join button below. You can also come chat to us on our Discord link, or at Heavy Spoilers on Twitter. Thanks for making it until the end of the video. You've been the best, I've been Paul, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.